All right, let's dive right in. In today's explainer, we are talking about a really fascinating concept called Nephesh, and some believe it's the actual key to unlocking and manifesting your true purpose in life.
So let me just start by asking you this. What if everything you were ever meant to be, everything you are meant to do, was just waiting for you, right behind a single door inside of yourself? To even find that door, we have to look at this spiritual framework called Chay. Now picture your inner self as a kind of mansion, and this mansion has 10 different spiritual dimensions, or doors. Nephesh, well, that's the 10th and final door on the right side. It really represents the culmination of this whole inner journey.
And the word itself, Nephesh, is, wow, it's not simple. It's a Hebrew word that can mean soul, life, desire, passion, even just raw emotion. You know, this incredible richness kind of gives you a hint about its role. It's not just one thing. It's the coming together of everything that makes us feel vibrantly alive.
Okay, to really get what Nephesh does, let's explore this really powerful metaphor from the source material. It's all about a secret that's hidden right under our feet. So get this. This comes from a vision that one of the framework's developers, Daniela Arteaga, had. She saw herself walking on what looked like ordinary, beautiful straw, but when she pulled it back, underneath she found these priceless gems. She came to understand that the gems were actually women whose true value she was meant to help uncover. I mean, what a powerful image for the potential that's just beneath the surface in all of us, just waiting to be revealed.
And that right there perfectly illustrates the core function of Nephesh. It's the dimension where we don't just, recognize that hidden potential, those gems under the straw, but we actively pull the straw back and bring that value out into the world for everyone to see. It is all about manifestation.
Okay, so what does this manifestation, this bringing it into the light, actually look like for people? Well, the experience is universal, but the way it's expressed is deeply, deeply personal. Let's look at a couple of amazing examples. So first, take Nyla. Initially, she saw herself as this tiny person in a huge garden of unique, beautiful flowers. But then, as she started to sing, expressing her unique gift, she actually grew in size. And her vision ended with a double rainbow, this incredible symbol of a promise fulfilled. Then you have Maris. She saw a massive fireworks display. For her, she understood it was a celebration of her, recognizing her as a leader who lifts other people up.
So you see the common thread here, right? Even though the visions are totally different, a rainbow versus fireworks, the theme is exactly the same. An internal, unique purpose becomes a tangible, visible, and celebrated reality in the outside world. That, right there, is Nephesh at work.
Now, this might all sound a little bit like magic, but it's not. It's actually a process. The framework lays out this very clear, logical sequence that leads to that moment of manifestation.
It's this really clear three-step path. It all starts with door number 8, Adam, which is all about knowing your essential identity, who you truly are. That's followed by door 9, Haya, which is about coherent action, so what you do in alignment with who you are. And only then, after those two, do you arrive at Nephesh, the result, the tangible fruit that grows from that perfect coherence of being and doing.
And what's wild is that this isn't some new idea. There's this ancient wisdom from the book of Proverbs that just nails it. It says, "Commit your works," that's Heya, your actions, "to the Lord, and your plans will be established." That's Nephesh, your manifested purpose. The connection is so direct, right action, based on your true identity, leads to the result you're looking for.
But let's be real, it's not always that easy, is it? This is where a lot of us can get tripped up. The obstacles can show up in symbolic ways, like seeing a vision of a garden filled with dry, dead trees, representing all those brilliant projects we started but never finished. Or it can be a feeling, that nagging sense of being too small or incapable, that voice of imposter syndrome that Nyla felt. Or maybe you just see your goals as completely unreachable, like a distant fantasy. Or, and this is a classic, the trap of thinking you have to fix every single problem in your life before you can even start. These are all super common roadblocks in the Nephesh dimension. And that's exactly why you can't just skip to the end. It makes total sense when you think about it like this. You simply cannot harvest a fruit that you haven't first planted and then carefully nurtured. Nephesh has to be the final dimension you work on.
So let's say you do the work, you follow the path, you clear those obstacles. What's the payoff? What's the ultimate goal of Nephesh? Well, the framework defines it as our true wealth.
And I have to be super clear here. When we say true wealth, we are not talking about money. True wealth, in this sense, is the profound experience of seeing your inner richness, All your unique dreams, your projects, your creativity finally flourish into something real, something tangible. It's that deep satisfaction of seeing who you are on the inside expressed beautifully on the outside.
And this true wealth can show up in all these incredible symbolic ways. We've already talked about fireworks for celebration, but for others, it might be the fragrance of spikenard, which represents service, or they might see people hang gliding, a symbol of total freedom. It's also seen as the ability to bless others, to just give from the absolute fullness of your soul.
When you boil it all down, it comes to this one fundamental truth. Your external world is a direct reflection, a mirror, of the internal world that you have painstakingly built, healed, and brought into alignment.
You know, there's this quote from the source material that's, well, it's a bit of a paradox, but it captures this idea perfectly. It goes, "The Lord will take you out of the job you don't like once you love it." It really suggests that the external change we're all craving only comes after we achieve an internal shift in our perspective.
So to bring this all home, Nephesh really is the grand finale. It's the culmination of all your inner work. It's that beautiful, powerful moment when your identity and your actions finally click into place and bear tangible fruit. And the world that's been growing inside you just blossoms for everyone to see.
So I'll just leave you with this to think about. If your inner world truly creates your outer reality, what true wealth, what unique purpose, what hidden gems are waiting under the straw to be manifested in your life?